Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my team here on the ChesnoidPlays channel. Today, we're in Italy at Imola for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. I believe this is the first sprint race weekend of this season. Sprint race is slightly different to a regular normal weekend. I'll run it down for you, so for those of you that aren't aware. Regularly, of course, you have the 3 practice sessions, 2 on a Friday, 1 on a Saturday morning. Then you qualify on a Saturday afternoon and have a full race on a Sunday. When there's a sprint race weekend, you have 1 practice session on a Friday morning. Then you qualify on a Friday afternoon, the same way you would on a Saturday afternoon, so the same style of session with Q1, 2 and 3. Then on the Saturday, there's another practice session in the morning, and then a sprint race, i.e. a shorter distance mini Grand Prix, so to speak. The full Grand Prix are 300km long. The sprint race is 100km long, so it's a third race distance race, and the finishing order of the sprint race then sets the grid for the full race on the Sunday. I believe the Emilia-Romagna race weekend is the first one with a sprint race in it this season. Now, I think there's 5 or 6. Might be mistaken. There was 3 last year and 3 the year before, and I think they upped it. Might be 5 or 6, or maybe they were planning 5 or 6 and dropped it to 4. I can't quite recall. We'll find out in due course, though. But as you can see, practice 1 qualifying, practice 2 sprint is how we work things now. Weather, dry conditions on track for every session, but there's a little bit of a chance of maybe a bit of drizzle in the sprint and the full race itself, so we'll have to bear that in mind. Development updates, the engine power one has worked, the rear downforce tunnels and the weight redistribution haven't worked. I have since redone those so that they're now definitely going to pass. This obviously just means we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for them to arrive to us. I don't yet have arrival. That will get set up sooner rather than later. I think we are still the 9th slowest team, so to speak. And we are getting there. 44% wear on the MTUH already. I might have to put a new one of those in, to be fair. In fact, I'll do that after practice. We'll use that one in practice. And then before we go to qualifying, we'll change the MTUH. Twitch chat, let me know. Or remind me to do that, please. And we will do so. And gearbox-wise, gearbox should be okay until the... gearbox should be okay until the end of the next couple of races. They don't wear anywhere near as much, or wear can go a little bit higher before you need to replace it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Right, so I'm going to jump to practice, try and get some resource points so that we can continue to improve the car. 2,500 we've already got, as you can see, top right, and we'll be adding some more to that throughout the course of this next practice session, and then we'll jump into qualifying. I'll try some... the default setup, and then we'll try a setup from simracingsetups.com as well, and we'll see if we can actually go a little bit faster. You see 21 laps for the sprint race, 63 laps for the full race. Let's go. Time to jump into the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix weekend. 1:18.6. Ooh! We'll wait and see what they're like in qualifying, but that was a decent lap. I am going to have to be really careful with underfloor damage, though, here in Imola. We got a decent haul from the practice programs, as we'll find out momentarily. But that was a decent lap. I am 1.1 seconds faster than Charles Leclerc. Faster than Théo Pourchaire there, but like I say, that was only first practice, and we're all normally quite quick compared to the AI in first practice, and then they step it up a notch for qualifying. So we'll see if they do that, but it is qualifying next. There is no more practicing. It is straight to quali. I haven't actually found out how many resource... Well, hasn't added the resource points. I guess, to be fair, there's another practice session, isn't there, before the sprint, so I could go and do the practice sessions again. I'm not going to, because I don't think I can improve in any of them, so we should just crack on with... Well, Friday qualifying then for the Saturday sprint. Hopefully we can do quite well, but this will kind of be the gauge of whether we need to up the difficulty from 85 to about 90, or whether we are about right, whether Australia was an outlier, or whether we do genuinely need to up the difficulty a little bit. We'll find out in due course. Quali time. So 1:18.6. Slower than Bottas, so we're not super rapid. 1:18.6, where's that going to put me after one run from everybody? 10% wear after just one flying lap. The softs are just not a good race tyre. Seems to... Fernando's done a 17.7. And Mick a 118 exactly dead to the millisecond. And I'm only a tenth faster than my teammate. I think the difficulty is about bang on at 85. Australia may well have just been an outlier. Because now watch me tumble. Currently P12. Yuki. Quali lap ruined. Blocked by Yuki Tsunoda. I'm not going to improve. Come on. No, not going to improve. A 116.8 is all I've got in me. 116.8 is all I've got in me. That was a poor start to the lap because, of course, we got blocked by Yuki at turn 1. Or technically, it's turn 2, I guess. Oh, man. Did we make it through? I don't know. It doesn't look like it. I did, what, a 118.6? Or was it 118.2? It was a 118.6, and I am well off the pace. If I hadn't have been blocked by Yuki, I probably could have improved by about 3 or 4 tenths. And just made it through to Q2. But it will be a P19 start. But crucially, almost thankfully, that's a P19 start for the sprint race, not the actual Grand Prix. So, we might still stand a chance. We might still stand a chance. And as someone in chat has just pointed out, Charles only qualified P21. The Ferrari is out of qualifying in Q1. Really, really poor from Charles. Again, though, thankfully for him, similar to Lewis in Brazil in real life last season, he'll have the opportunity in the sprint race to work his way forward to then try and then go forward again in the full race. 21 laps in a sprint race. We'll probably do that all on a set of mediums, to be honest, rather than use the softs at all, I would imagine. There is a second practice session, so we might try and use that to our advantage and maybe get a little bit more from the fuel management, although I don't think I can do it. I'll try. I'll try for the sake of trying. But if I don't get anything, then I will see you in the sprint race. If I do, then I'll show you it. Decent haul of resource points. That'll do. Development boosts applied. Is that just... I think that is up to level 6, isn't it, for the team? Teo's nearly up to level 6 as well himself. We are up to level 6 as a team. Nice. Nice. Imola sprint race. 21 laps. Probably no pit stops. All done on one set of mediums, I would imagine. I don't see any need to really stop. It's going to be more overcast, but it's going to be slightly cooler, which should, in theory, make the tyres last a little bit longer. So, again, probably going to be a no-stop with the medium tyres and just a flat-out sprint, basically, which is kind of what it says on the tin.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint.
So even Crofty's not expecting pit stops. 23 degrees, it's overcast. But yeah, it should just be the nature of just one set of medium tyres. Sainz on pole then, Max Verstappen second, Charles Leclerc starting 21st as we saw. We obviously missed out on the rest of the qualifying, so then it's Mercedes 3 and 4, Checo in only P5, Alonso's quick in that Alpine, Magnussen and Ocon 7th and 8th, Bottas and Mick Schumacher in the top 10, GG. The McLaren is an absolute dog of a car, it seems, this year, isn't it, on the game? Zhou Guanyu 15th, Porsche is 16th, Stroll and Albon. And me in 19th, Latifi, Leclerc and Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo feels so underpowered in this game. He's always doing awfully. I think Daniel Ricciardo needs a little bit of a buff. Yes, he's not having a great time at McLaren in real life, but he's not that bad. Race strategy, one medium tyre to the end. Now, I didn't mention this earlier in the YouTube video, but there are points on offer in the sprint race. In previous seasons, it's just been the top 3 that gets points. This year, it's the top 8 that get points. Now, obviously, we're a long way off 8th. So hopefully, we can do something in this sprint race to get ourselves slightly further up the grid for the full race next. Obviously, we have a Ferrari that's starting directly behind us, which isn't necessarily going to be great. He's probably going to go, see ya, as soon as possible. But 21 laps with no pit stops means that it's going to be pretty intense. Oh, the lights held us for ages there, trying to get the power down. See the Ferrari already showing that straight line speed. It's going to be quite tight into the first turn. I don't know where they're going to brake, so I'm going to have to be careful. Careful we were. Latifi's taken me. We're down to P20. Still got the Ferrari and the McLaren behind. You can see the yellow of Théo Pourchaire's car. And now the Ferrari's just having a go at me. It's not even having a go. He's just plain gone there, Charles Leclerc. Ran Daniel a little bit out wide there, but I kind of had to be aggressive. I don't want to be running at the back. Oh! He says, as he gets too aggressive with the throttle pedal and very nearly puts it in a wall. Side by side there, Stroll and Alex Albon fighting hard. Now Daniel Ricciardo's again trying to have a look at me, but we're not going to let him past. And these tyres will last the full sprint race, so we don't need to worry about tyre wear at all. Don't need to worry about needing to pit at any point. It's just a case of drive as hard as you can, earn as many places as you can, and try and start the Grand Prix as high up as we possibly can. So total this weekend, we're going to be doing 84 laps of this Imola circuit. So the video undoubtedly will be longer than usual, but hopefully you guys will enjoy. Daniel having another look. Very straight, very fast in a straight line. The other drivers here at Imola. I think that's where we're really lacking at the minute, is that straight line speed.
Okay, DRS will be enabled.
Trying to use a slipstream, but
when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
just can't catch. Yellow flags in front. Now we're okay again. Presumably cars going side by side and having a little bit of a go at each other. Oh, another yellow flag. That's Lando Norris out of the session. Lando retires from the sprint race. Why is that? Technical fault, you imagine? Where's the other McLaren? He's a long way up. Comes round the first, then the second. Oh, he's hit. He hit the Alfa Romeo and is just retiring from the race with that. The car is still seemingly pretty much intact, other than that front wing damage there that you see. I mean, it's quite substantial front wing damage, but still. I'm really surprised that he's going to retire with that. Comes around the corner. I mean, if they're going to retire with wing damage like that, they must surely have done some more. Regardless, that's a place for us. Thank you. Cheers, Lando. We'll take it. Oh, God. What are you doing, Ches? It's just really bad for me, isn't it? Really bad.
Caution, caution.
Another yellow flag in front. Not sure why. It's Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is retiring. Charles Leclerc's engine's gone bang.
Green flag.
Not only was it a terrible qualifying, it's now a terrible sprint race as well. Charles Leclerc will start at the back of the grid
Okay, it looks like
and start P21 again. Daniel Ricciardo got all out of shape there and then kind of drove across me a little bit. Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel having a bit of a coming together. I think Seb's got front wing damage. I'm going to try and make a move up the inside hill. Daniel's doing the same on Latifi. Seb's definitely carrying some damage here and he's going to have to pit. And now Daniel Ricciardo's trying to get past the Williams as well. All of a sudden, the nature of this sprint race has changed. I think it's safe to say Australia was definitely an outlier and we are not fast here at Imola. Not anywhere near as competitive. Sun's breaking through the clouds, as you can see. I need to try and save some battery as well because Daniel's just disappearing down the road. Myself and Nicholas Latifi are running the risk here of just getting left behind. If in Australia we were stupidly fast, we certainly have gone from one end of the spectrum to the other here this weekend, haven't we? Not even remotely competitive in Imola. Oh, and Latifi's got himself all out of position there. But look at the straight line difference. That Mercedes engine just powers. To be fair, I'd rather be behind him here to then get DRS down the main straight. But we are putting Latifi under pressure, and he's not dealing with it well. Drive off that final turn so quickly. DRS is going to have to save my bacon here. Oh, Nicholas! Latifi has outbraked himself there, locked up and flown into me. Pretty sure he locks up here and just goes straight on. Oh, he gets over the curb. Gets over the curb and just destroys me. You're not supposed to do that, Nicholas. That's not very nice, mate. Right, now we've got a bit of a run on him. Come on. Thing is, I want the inside line. I'm just not going to get it. This is just going to be a carbon copy of before, isn't it? No, now I'm going to get the inside line. I'll run him out. There we go. Oh, thank God for that. We're not last anymore. We've had a 1v1 versus Nick Latifi for 10 laps. And eventually, it's a 1v1 that we've won. Now, I really don't think I'm going to be able to catch everybody else in front. So that might be it for our sprint race here. First experiences of the sprint race. I'd rather have done it at a track where I was more competitive. There will be more throughout the course of the season. I'll try and close the gap to Daniel. And maybe we'll have the opportunity to now that we're past Nicholas. But can't say as I'm that sure about it. Although, to be fair, it's 4.3 now. It is coming down, isn't it? Just not sure if I've got enough time left in the sprint race to actually make any more progress. 4.2 seconds. We've got 10 laps to do. It's them getting DRS here, though. It's just going to see them disappear, isn't it? I'm going to make progress through the lap and then not be able to catch them because they just pull away down the straight. They're so fast, and they go like they've gained 7 tenths on me down that straight. That might be another example of something we encountered last year, which was the AI being uncompetitively super strong in like one section of a handful of circuits. Like through Maggots and Beckett's, the AI were untouchable on 21. Through Pouon at Spa, the AI were untouchable on 21. And it seems down the main straight here at Imola, they're untouchable as well. I've gained nearly half a second back on them throughout the course of the lap. But now they'll just disappear again. Down the straight. They're just so fast. Bottas in the pits. Well, that'll gain me a position. Thank you very much, Valtteri. Appreciate that. He's switching to softs. I don't know whether that's even worth it for me. Gap to Ricciardo and Vettel in front has dropped significantly, like by over a second. Why is that? Are they just battling harder, maybe? And it's costing them time, perhaps? Or are they stuck behind someone? Looks like there's a third car in front of them now that might be carrying some damage. It's Lance Stroll. It's the other Aston Martin. They're dropping back towards me a little bit. .7 seconds now. Nobody in the pits, though, intriguingly. Those three are just having a bit of a battle. If we can catch them in the remaining 7 laps, then we might have the chance. We might have the chance of a better finish, although I am going to have to drive better than that. We're into DRS zone. Within DRS range of the 3 in front now. With 4 laps. 4 laps to try and get past. We've had to really grind and knuckle down to close this gap, but close it we have. And fingers crossed, we can make something work. But they are finding it hard to overtake one another, and with their speed down the straight, it's not going to make it any easier for me to try and overtake them, but we were able to do it against Nicholas Latifi. I will try and do it against Ricciardo and the Aston Martins. We can just harry them into a mistake, like we did to Latifi a couple of times, then maybe there's a chance of some more places. We started, what, P19 or P18? P19, wasn't it? We started P19. So thanks to the DNFs and Bottas having to pit for damage, we have actually improved our grid slot for the full Grand Prix with this. I hesitate to use the word performance in the sprint race. We've got the slipstream on Daniel. I'm going up his inside. That's P17.
Good job. Nice overtake.
Thank you, Mark. I thought so as well. Daniel thought about having a go. He had a look. I closed the door. And unfortunately, in the end, I'm having to do defending on this last lap rather than attacking. Leave Daniel enough racing room, but he's not coming past. I'm going to try my best to hold on to this P17. So, as Carlos Sainz wins the sprint race, we are going to move forward on the grid for the full race, for the full-length Grand Prix. But it has been an eye-opener here at Imola that, whilst we loved what we did at Australia yesterday, it is going to take a lot more hard work to do that consistently. This car is not where we want it to be, or even close to it. And after grinding to go from P19 to P17 for 21 laps, we now have a 63 lap Grand Prix coming up. We go again. It really is going to be a long video. Make sure you drop the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because my thumb is hurting and it needs your love and support. Oh, dearie me. 8 points for Carlos Sainz. Lewis comes third. K-Mag gets some points. Teo managed to finish 13th. Really pleased with Teo getting 13th. That shows that he's still got a little bit of talent in there. He's going to go up to level 6 as a driver as well here. We're going to move a little bit further up with regards to the team. Oh, my thumb is already hurting, and now I've got 63 more laps to go and do. Right, I don't really need to show you the grid, because you just saw how everybody finished in the previous sprint race. So they're going to line up as they ended the sprint race. Now, what is the strategy going to look like this time? That's the question. Hard to mediums, it reckons. We could 3-stop soft, soft, soft. But I think... oh, it reckons I could go soft, soft, medium. Do I maybe start on the mediums and then go medium, soft, soft then? I'll try go medium, hard. We'll try go medium, hard and try and make that work. That's probably going to be quicker for us than using the soft tyre at all. And then towards the end of the race, if we need to, we should have a fresh set of softs available to us, I think. Or at least a barely used set of softs. So that's what we'll do. 63 laps. Upcoming, medium, then hard. We shall see, actually have a quick glance to see what everyone else is doing. Hards, mediums, and softs throughout. Teo starting on hards. I'm not starting on... I needed to actually make sure that I select that strategy, because I hadn't actually selected it. Let's select that one. There we go. So I'm going to start on the mediums along with a number of others. Teo's going to start on the hards. We're going to have some in front of us that are going to be quicker. Some in front of us that might be slower, like Fernando on the hards. And then some behind us that will be quick on the softs. We're actually starting P15, as there have been some penalties taken by Yuki Tsunoda and Lando Norris. So we are, and Teo as well, taking another penalty. So we're actually moving further up the grid, starting P15. McLaren right behind me on softs. That McLaren is going to be past me before we even get to the first corner, isn't it? He's going to get a better start, and evidently we see that they are quicker in a straight line. There's a McLaren at the back that's also starting on softs. We're certainly going to go back before we go forward, if we go forward at all. Use some battery. McLaren is coming. And whoa. He slowed up there. I had to get out the throttle entirely and actually had to brake a little. And that is the end of that Grand Prix.
Engine off, engine off.
Hit from behind, spun into the wall, rip. Well, let's have a look. Whose fault was that? To be fair, probably mine. Looking at me close the gap there. And the Alfa Romeo goes onto the grass. I have squeezed him to pushing me into the wall. Equally, he could back out of the throttle. He could back out of the throttle because he's not alongside me until there. But I should probably have given him a bit more space. So that's my fault. I have to take that. Let's crack on from where we were, and this time give them a little bit more space on the outside. It's like George and Valtteri in the wet all over again. Although it was only the one car that ended up in the wall this time. Me.
Okay, there's been an incident on track resulting in loose debris.
Jesus, the Ferrari is already up here.
And there are so far no plans for a safety car.
Oh, they're really slow going around here. Oh, Charles! Charles just done to me what I did to Bottas. He's going round there and he's holding his line and then he's pulled right into me. So we'll just hang it around the outside. Hope not to get hit by the Ferrari this time. I've got an AlphaTauri on my inside. That's Yuki Tsunoda on soft tyres. Try and hang it around the outside though. And we have held on to the position. And now we've lost it. So the soft-tyred runners have made the progress you would have expected them to make. Apart from perhaps Lando Norris. Nicholas Latifi on softs behind is still trying to make some moves as well. And those of us on the mediums and the hards have fallen backwards a little bit. We started 15th, we've dropped to 18th, but that was to be expected with the nature of the cars that were behind us. At least in these early stages. Ricciardo is pitting. So he's got some front wing damage that he needs to sort out. That's unfortunate for him. He is the only one to pit at the end of lap 1. We'll try and stick with this lot in front. Whilst, yes, they have softer tyres than us, if they're all in a gaggle like that, they're not going to be able to extract the the maximum amount of pace from those tyres, are they? God, that was awful. Leave him the room there, Valtteri, but then he's pulled in behind me. Yuki's going to make it past Seb here. And have the inside line for the next turn as well, although Seb has a little bit of a run. Valtteri's trying to do the same to me, but then we'll have the inside line for Acqua Minerale, but to be fair, he's dropped a little bit behind now. Seb has given up the ghost and he's settled to pull in behind Yuki now. Curious to know how long these soft runners can go on those tyres for. That will give us good knowledge for later in the Grand Prix. I got a bit out of shape there. Now let's let Valtteri get alongside me, but no, we've held the position again. Here comes Lando as well. This is going to be dangerous. Try and hold the inside line. Managed to keep Valtteri Bottas at bay again. Albon has been passed now by Alonso, expecting then the Alpine to disappear into the distance. We shall wait and see. And there will come a moment where these guys' soft tyres do start to get past their best. DRS will help keep Alex Albon in touch though with Fernando Alonso. Norris and Bottas going side by side behind us. Trying to close that gap. Norris is now past. Lando passed Valtteri behind, so we're going to come under threat from behind even more so than we were with Valtteri soon. So that McLaren is fast on soft tyres.
Last lap was a 1:23.4.
I got really out of shape there. Lando's definitely going to have me now. I'm going to go defensive. Lando has got such a speed advantage here. I'm going to go deep on the brakes. We're going to hold him off. I've got to try and catch Seb again. Oh, we've done as much defending as we have been attacking, haven't we? But so far, the defence has stood up quite well. We started P15, we dropped to P17 because Charles Leclerc and Yuki Tsunoda got past us. And actually, Albon is now down to 15th. I hadn't even noticed, but Yuki's been able to get past the Williams as well. And they're both going to stretch the gap out in front of the Williams now. And we're going to fall further behind Alonso and Yuki Tsunoda. It really shouldn't be long before those soft runners think about pitting. It's showing as us having an orange component, which I think is probably the gearbox, but it's oh no, we forgot to change the MGUH, didn't we? We were going to change the MGUH before qualifying, and we didn't. These two going side by side. There's some front wing flew off Sebastian Vettel's car. I think it was Vettel's car that came off anyway. Try and get past these without losing time behind. We'll find out because I'm sure whoever's front wing came off will pit for a new one at the end of this lap. Judging by how Seb's still right behind Alex, I think it must have been Alex Albon's wing that came off, or part of it came off the end plate. Yep, there's Albon peeling off into the pits. His end plate of his front wing came off in that battle with Seb, so he's now taking a fresh one. Side by side with Seb. And past him. He tried to give me a squeeze on the way into the turn. We saw him off, and that's us up to P14. Right, can we try and catch that gaggle in front? There's 3 cars there at least. Yuki, Fernando, and then something in front of them. In fact, look at the minimap. There's 5 cars there. Ocon, Zhou, Stroll, Alonso, Tsunoda. That's actually points in front of us. Really are having to get our elbows out like mad in this Grand Prix. We did that in Australia. We've got experience of that. They are getting really out of line in front. Yuki was just nowhere there compared to the racing line. And the gap was really closed from 3 down to less than 1 now as they continue to fight here. And Stroll actually is another bottleneck by the looks of things. Although to be fair, they were in a gaggle of 5, weren't they? And Stroll was in the middle of it. There hasn't actually been a position change. I think Stroll might have just maybe had a battle with someone and it forced them backwards. This group of 3 is going to become a group of 7 very, very soon. They're just that's 3 different lines into Aqua Minerale there. No wonder they're losing time hand over fist. They can't figure out where to place their cars. So Yuki's going to be really slow there. Now Seb's right up my back bottom again, and this group of 3 has become a group of 7. I'll have the inside line set, or not that the inside line really is going to matter that much. Jesus wept. Sebastian Vettel. The straight line speed there was nuts.
Lost the position, try to keep focus.
Alonso having a go at Stroll now. They're all out of line. Super slow. Hold your breath. We are past Sebastian Vettel again. Whew. Well, considering there was minimal action in the sprint race, we're certainly making up for it now, aren't we? This is only lap 13. They've still got 50 more laps of this. That's Stroll in the pits then. Not sure whether that's for damage or just for a regular stop from those soft tyres. Up to P12 now, as Charles Leclerc had actually pit from in front of us. And there is a Ferrari now about to close down the group behind, who are still fighting. Teo Pourchaire has managed to get himself past a couple of cars and up into P13. Let's go, Teo. I think those soft runners are going to be starting to pit now then, basically, because Charles Leclerc was on softs and he's pit. Now Lance Stroll is pit, and I don't envisage that being for any damage at all. It wasn't. The soft runners are now starting to pit. So we should see Yuki Tsunoda pit soon. And that will give us P11 for the time being. Bottas has passed Teo behind. Half expecting Yuki to pull off into the pits here. And indeed he does. So those soft runners are definitely coming in now. We are up to P11 with a points paying position P10 right in front of us in the shape of Fernando Alonso. But he has started the race on hards, whereas we've started on mediums. So he's going to go a long way into this race before even thinking about pitting. Come on then. Is he going to go defensive? He is. He's going to go to the inside. Can I make it around the outside of him? Oh, he's not leaving me much room there, Fernando Alonso, is he? Not much room at all, but he's locked up and he's gone on. And Fernando makes the mistake. We've pressed him into making it. And we are up into the points. Thank you very much. See you later, Fernando. That's cost him a huge chunk of time. He's gone from being a couple of tenths in front of us to 1.5 seconds behind. I'm going to try and get out of DRS range. Fernando by the end of the lap, if we can. Albon, is this it's a full safety car? Alex Albon's out of the session. Full safety car. Full safety car. It's too early to pit for hards, though. Oh, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. Let's have a look and see what's happened to Alex Albon. That'll be behind us. Is it here? It is indeed. Alex Albon chasing down the AlphaTauri and Aston Martin in front. Oh, just tags the back of the Aston Martin. That is definitely safety car worthy. Right on the apex of a corner. Now then. What do we do pit stop wise? We are on lap 17. So there's still a significant portion of the race to go. I do have a fresh set of softs that I can switch to. Or we can switch to the hards and try and go as long as possible. I only have one set of used mediums left to go to. So I can either switch to a slightly set of used mediums and then hope that they last long enough to then switch to a set of softs at the end. Or we can go to hards now, try and make them last as long as possible. If they go to the end, great. If they don't, then we'll pit for softs. I think that's the option. I think the hard tyre next. Let me tell my pit crew. Oh, they're actually asking me to pit for hards. They have actually offered me the option to change. That's great. They actually came to me and said, look, strategy change is available here. So we might lose track position for a little while, but then we should gain it back again later. So we're pitting, as is Valtteri Bottas behind us, and Charles Leclerc again. In front of us, Zhou Guanyu's pit 2. Fernando Alonso keeps going. Right, concentrate, so he's got to get this right. We've got a good turn in. And a good pit stop too. Great pit stop. Down to P13 for the time being from P10, but hopefully.
That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go.
There's the safety car waiting for the lead car. Right, now we get the opportunity to get these cars up to temperature before we get to the safety car.
Safety car in this lap.
Because we were on it, catching the safety car at the end of this gaggle. we actually have quite warm tyres. And those in front who've been following the safety car for longer will have colder tyres. But Gasly there in front of Théo Pourchaire. Gasly in front of Théo does have soft tyres on. We are underway again. I'm expecting that Ferrari to be past me beyond without any real problem. Here he comes, Charles. Guan Yu Zhou having a look at Théo, who's locked up and gone on and come back onto the track and bumped into Charles Leclerc and taken his wing off. Théo Pourchaire's locked up there in front of us, gone long and taken... He's taken Charles Leclerc's wing off. Look, watch. Turns back in. Wham! Charles Leclerc is now without a front wing. He cannot catch a break in this season, can he, Charles Leclerc? Must have the worst luck. We've gained 2 positions. No, 1 position. Will we P13 or will we P14? Not sure. Charles Leclerc is just going to fall further and further and further back. He says. Because now he's absolutely... Jesus, he's fast in a straight line, but he's not got front wing. How's he this... Oh my God. Charles Leclerc without a front wing is apparently the fastest car on track. How?
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
It's like he doesn't even acknowledge the fact that he's got a missing front wing. He better pit at the end of this lap. He's just gone. There you go, Charles Leclerc pitting for a new front wing then. Mick Schumacher is pitting too, so we're up to P11. So now we have gained a couple of places. Now with my teammate being behind me on his worn, old, hard tyres, because he didn't stop during the safety car, he hopefully will hold a few up behind us. And we're going to try our best now to catch up with those in front of us if we can. Because there's a real gaggle of cars there as well that should slow up through the slower corners. They will all start to battle and bounce around one another. In the sprint race, we were absolutely nowhere. Now, in the feature race, the full race, there's been so much on-track action that we are very much in the thick of it. And maybe stand a chance of getting some points again. Zhou Guanyu is actually falling away from Pierre Gasly in front. Zhou, similar to us, pit for a new set of hards. And is actually not able to keep up with those in front. Carlos Sainz in the pits from P1, the leader in the pits. We're into 10th and a points-paying position. Although rather obviously, we fully expect him to come back past us. 2 cars in the pits there, Gasly and Alonso. Alonso pitting from hards and Hamilton's in the pits as well. We're P7. It was awful, Ches, wasn't it? Ocon in the pits now, K-Mag P4. And George Russell. K-Mag P3, we're P5 now.
That's it, mate, you've taken 5th.
Teo's in the pits now for his stop as well. So teammates in the pits. Lap 28 from those hard tyres. Charles Leclerc sets the fastest lap of the race, as again he's trying to make his way through the traffic. He's had to do that far too many times for his liking so far in this Grand Prix. A bit of an Alfa Romeo sandwich at the minute, with Zhou Guanyu in front and Valtteri Bottas closing me down from behind. Carlos Sainz now P7 as he's trying to make his way back through. Verstappen in the pits from P3, although he's coming out of the pits now, I believe. We are P4. K-Mag P2. Perez in the pits. K-Mag leads the Grand Prix. We're P3. Trying to get past Zhou Guanyu for P2. It's Haas from Alpha from Chesnoid Racing. Didn't see that coming at the beginning of the San Marino Grand Prix weekend, did you? Well, not San Marino anymore, is it? Emilia Romagna. Rather sharpish, I think. Carlos is so fast. Ferrari literally just drives around the outside of you. That's mental. Max is right behind him as well.
Okay, we've lost a position. That's us down a place.
Bye, Max. And we're P5 again. Max and Zhou, you going for it? Zhou's out of position here. I'm too far away. I thought about having a go. Here comes Leclerc. Leclerc somehow is P7 again. How many sets of soft tyres does that Ferrari have? He's on softs again. Might stand a chance of getting past Zhou here. Leclerc's pit again. No more sets of softs left for him now, though. Which way are you going, Zhou? I think he can make up his mind. Now we really are in an Alfa Romeo sandwich. I'm going to use all of my battery now. There's no way I'm not coming through. He says, as he's now probably not going to get through. And here comes Lewis Hamilton. Past Valtteri Bottas and then George Russell right behind him. We're about to lose some more positions. That's Russell past Bottas as well. Oh, this is getting intense now, isn't it? Bloody hell. Fuck me. Oversteer central there, wasn't it? That's 2 places lost to the Mercedes in the space of about 150 metres. Here comes Checo as well. Now the Mercedes are getting feisty with one another. No team orders there, is there? Don't even think about it, Checo. Driving so poorly. That's Checo through.
Keep on him, he might make a mistake.
I bet you he doesn't. Oh, he's pitting. Checo pitting on those mediums. I'm not sure why. And the Alfa Romeo sandwich is back. Here comes Lando Norris on his mediums, and he's got a car right behind him as well. It's an Alpine. Trying to just force him into a mistake more so than anything else now. Here comes Valtteri. There you go. Force him into his mistake, he says. Oh, as he makes one of his own. Zhou Guanyu forced into a mistake, loses 3 positions, and he may have hit Ocon on his way back onto the track. He goes long here. Valtteri has a look at me. Zhou Guanyu goes long. Does he come back on and hit Ocon? I think they did, but they might have just brushed tyres, perhaps. Let's have a look. No, they miss. They miss each other somehow. They do miss each other. So that's P6 for us then. I've got nothing. Try and get in his slipstream. Oops. Here comes Ocon too. We'll hold Ocon off. Valtteri might just disappear now.
We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Just haven't got the straight line speed. Oh, all the tyre grip at the minute either. I think I'm going to be forced into having to stop for a set of softs around about lap 51 or 2. So Guanyu's going to have straight line speed on me here as well. It's just so strong in a straight line. There's just not anything you can do about it. Now Lando's going to take me for P10 as well. It's Alonso and Leclerc behind. Now we're truly starting to see where we are in the pecking order. Just falling straight back through. And then I'm just going to have to pit. I've not got a choice. These hard tyres just won't take me to the end, I don't think. Only is Charles Leclerc on his way. Charles Leclerc has passed. We are out of the points. Got Alonso, Mick Schumacher, and someone else behind as well. Oh, in the pits. In the pits goes Lando Norris. Leclerc trying to get past Zhou Guanyu. They're going to get slow in turn 1, that's for sure. Leclerc past Zhou Guanyu. I want to know how long everyone else's soft tyres lasted. I'm not going to be able to hold off Fernando here. This is just a done deal. Look, Charles Leclerc has pit 4 times and is still 8th. 13 laps. His softs lasted 13 laps. So if I can hold these hard tyres to lap 51, we can make it to the end on a set of softs and not have to use another set of mediums. We're now out of the points again because Fernando's just taken me. I'm going to have to use a set of softs at the end, I think. Thank you, Dave, for the 18th month as well, mate. Bye, Mick. Oh, it's just gutting that they are so fast in a straight line and we're just not. Oh, he's overdone it. He's overcooked it, Mick Schumacher. We're back through again. To be fair, we are using really worn parts. Like other drivers might have thrown in a fresh engine for this race. Whereas, if you can see bottom middle, my gearbox is 69% worn, my MGU8 62. We do have some worn components that we've got on the car at the minute, which is a contributory factor to our lack of straight line speed as well. Come out 20th if I pit now. 20th. Is it even worth it? Is it worth pitting? Should I just soldier on for another 14 laps? Surely if I just stay out on track, I'm not going to lose another 7 positions. Just look at the minimap. Look how far back. Am I really going to lose 19 seconds in that time? I really don't know whether to pit or not. Because I could pit, have a tyre advantage, but still not be able to get past them. That's what I'm worried about. Yellow flag somewhere. I think Gasly's got an issue. He does. Gasly has a technical issue. He's pulling over. He's out of the race. Thank you, Pierre. Pierre Gasly out of the session, retiring from right in front of us as we are deciding whether we do or don't think it's a good idea to pit for softs between now and the end of the Grand Prix. I'm P12. I'd come out well behind my teammate. I don't know if it's worth it. There goes Yuki. See, this is the gap to Stroll. Gap to Stroll is 16.7 seconds. Ricardo, I'm resigned to falling behind, but if I can hold off, that gap to Stroll, then surely I can get a 14. I can get a 14th place finish. Oh, I'm so torn. I don't know what to do. In. Stay out. Oh, too fucking late now. I need a good pit stop. God, my thumb is like caved. Look how my thumb is caved in on itself. I don't know whether the camera is actually going to show that. It's caved in on itself. It's flat. Perfect turn in. And a good stop. Right, P18. Checo is next. Checo's going to go past me. P19. Valtteri Bottas out of the session. What's happened to Valtteri? Is it engine or technical? It looks like a technical. Same as Gasly. Technical fault. If there's a safety car now, it's a dream. There won't be. We've dropped to P20. There won't be a safety car, unfortunately, but that could have been the most unbelievably well-timed pit stop in the history of Formula One. So for 11 laps now, we're just going to gun it. Go as fast as we can, for as long as we can, try and make as many laps, as many positions as we can. Like I said, there's no point struggling on for the sake of struggling on. We might as well have some quick laps at the end of the race.
We're currently trailing our teammate by 7.0 seconds.
A 1v1 at the back against Nicholas Latifi again. We've been here before. Up the inside at the hairpin. Why did you turn into me? You're an idiot. Sebastian Vettel. 4.9 seconds down the road. Make that 4.2 seconds down the road. Teo's just lost the position to Checo. 3.5 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. 3 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. 2.6 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. 2 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. 1.4 seconds to Sebastian Vettel. Fastest third sector of the race. Hi, Seb. Forced him wide into a mistake. Thank you, Seb. Right, let's go get Teo. Team orders. No team orders here, pal. He can fight me as much as he likes. I'm getting caught by Max, though. Tyres are already 13% worn.
We've lost one of the gears. The transmission is significantly
No!
damaged. We're down a gear, I'm afraid.
I've lost 4th gear.
Okay, blue flag conditions. Create a gap and let the car behind through.
Gearbox 70% worn. I've lost 4th gear. Unbelievable. I didn't think you lost gears till 80%.
Right, we've looked at the gearbox issue, but I'm afraid there's nothing we can do. Try and drive around it. We'll just have to hope for the best. Remember, you've got a lot of torque in these power units, so you should be able to stay in high gears for a lot of the lap.
Past me teammate. P16. Oh, I can't believe I've lost 4th bloody gear. Oh, hopefully it comes back to us, but it might not. We got 4 laps left, because of course we're only going to lap 62 because Max Verstappen has lapped us, i.e. because he's right in front of me. I think I had 4th then. I think 4th came back to us then. Briefly. 4th has come back. The return of the mystery gear. We've pushed through it. 4th has come back again. 4th popped out for milk. May the 4th gear be with you. As we try and catch Lance Stroll, who's now letting Max Verstappen through and allowing us
Just 5 laps of fuel remaining.
a chance to close him right up. So it was Stroll that we would have been trying to stay ahead of if we hadn't of pit. And we have pit. And been able to, hopefully, finish ahead of Lance Stroll.
Gap to your teammate behind is...
Come on, I want the inside, I want the inside, I want the inside, I want the inside. See you, Lance. P14. P15, sorry.
Right, we've got enough fuel for 3 more laps.
Good, because I only need to do 1 more lap. They're about to start their last lap, lap 63. I've just started lap 62, and it looks highly likely that we're about to finish in P15. We've run as high as 3rd. We've run as low as last. It's been a remarkable Grand Prix that has had so much happen in it. I don't know how I'm supposed to fit it all into a video. It's going to take me forever to edit all of this. Actually, forever. With the sprint race involved as well. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Hopefully you've been entertained by it. If you have, make sure to drop the video a like. Subscribe to the ChesnoidPlays channel so you don't miss out on any more. And do come across and join me on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Chesnoid Gaming. Link in the description down below. To come and watch these live and you can see all of the behind the scenes and everything that happens throughout the entirety of the race weekend. We'll be live again tomorrow. It's Miami next, I think, which I'm not looking forward to. But we'll be putting a number of fresh engine components in because, rather evidently, we've had some wear to this point. Max Verstappen wins, Carlos Sainz will finish P2, and we are third across the line. But for P15, unfortunately. We started 15th, we ended 15th. And we pretty much held every position in between. Throughout that Grand Prix, we held every position other than first and second. That's how mental it was. We, at one point, were in every position other than first and second. That was an insane Grand Prix. I don't know whether... I mean, it was obviously helped drastically by the safety car. By Alex Albon's crash. But that was unbelievable. My thumb is just dead. Absolutely dead. Bless it. It needs to have a little bit of a rest, I'm afraid. It's really sore. But Lewis Hamilton on the podium. Hamilton finishes P3. Max from Sainz from Lewis. A Mercedes on the podium once again. Let's have a look and see what the championship looks like after this then. So George manages to finish for K-Mag P5. Go on, K-Mag. Charles recovers to finish in P10 and get fastest lap. Unbelievable. We finished 15th. Teo finished 17th. That was just outrageous. It was just nuts. I enjoyed that though. That was a very, very enjoyable Grand Prix. Is a good track, Imola. It's fun to drive. It's not great for overtaking. Doesn't help when you're slow in a straight line as well. But we completed all practice programs in a weekend. So we got an extra boost there from our second sponsor, which we needed because we did $40,000 worth of damage to the car throughout the course of the weekend. Between us, me 30 and Teo 10. Not to worry. Not to worry at all. Let's see what we can do with regards our departments. And maybe we'll get some boosts. We should get some boosts, actually. We'll do... let's do the... Get the team acclaim there. Do aero team building. We'll do the driver promotion filming. Actually, no. Let me take that out. And then we'll do the reaction training. And... we'll do the durability equipment upgrade. That's what we'll do. Now, we've got some resource points we can spend. And we should be able to spend them very soon. As soon as these two pass, there we go. Right, now we can put some more parts on the car. We can, redistribute our aero. Front downforce or rear downforce? I'm going to go for front downforce, I think, next. For the overwheel wing. It's 39% chance of failure, though. So painful. And then let's do weight distribution. 50% discount on that one, which is something we can't really turn down. We throw anything into the powertrain. Oh, the spark plugs are in development. Right, gearbox durability. I think we need to do that, judging by how quickly it's worn. And we've still got 2,359 resource points left. We are certainly going to have to change parts for the next Grand Prix. And I'm going to put it on my little whiteboard in front of me. Change parts. So that parts after practice. So that I don't forget. And we're not hindered in quali for the Miami Grand Prix. But for the YouTube video, that will do us for today. Thank you very much for watching. As ever, drop the video a like if you've enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And come and join me over on Twitch. I need to consider to get a rival. Well, of the two, Daniel Ricciardo is the one that is underperforming. So I will select Daniel as my rival. Thanks for dealing with that. Sorry, Daniel. but they've not made you very fast on this game at present. So I'm going to try and take advantage of that. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. I will see you next time.